Dear NRI viewers, hope all of you are doing well. And based on my experience and learning after dealing with so many NRI clients, I came up with few things what they are lacking and what they are having misconception about India, financial affairs and taxes in India. And due to all these reasons, because of having others' views and misconception in their mind, they are losing even sometimes lakhs of rupees by not claiming as a refund. So I always believe that in the case of NRI, their travel schedules and number of days visit are very limited. So they have to be very planned and proactive to make their journey very beautiful, hassle-free, and joyful, because they have to manage their meeting up their friends and family, to enjoy their travel schedule, to enjoy their previous financial affairs. So they have to keep in mind all to dos, and as a result, they can make it very beautiful. So, hi folks, this is Bhavin here, Bhavin Shah, Chartered Accountant, a practicing member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Welcome to our YouTube channel, The Simplifier. Make it easy. I am going to tell you all the things what you have to keep as your to-do based on your applicability, based on your transactions. And even if you are a consultant or a tax practitioner, you can suggest to your NRI client so that they can keep their to-do before arrival in India, and they can make it happen possible, and they can enjoy their travel schedule in a hassle-free manner. In this video, I'm going to brief you all those possible things which you might require to do and finish while you travel to India. Let's look at all those points one by one. So first point will be of bank accounts. I must recommend you all to open your bank account with good infrastructure, good IT support system, and the most important thing is good relationship manager and supportive staff, because here in India, even some of the bankers used to be very greedy, and they end up not providing right information, right support to the NRI clients. So always better to go for the right banker and with good infrastructure. Update your KYC, update your address, your mobile number, and even you require to update your visa status with your banker. If you are having a properties in India and if your tenant is paying you rent amount in your bank account, then give them new NRO account what you have converted from saving bank account to NRO account. If you are an NRI, then as per FEMA, you cannot open and keep your saving bank account in India. So it's always better to convert your resident saving bank account to NRO account, and it is your obligations. So always prefer to convert your resident saving bank account to NRO account by visiting your local bank branches, and it is your obligation, and if you don't do, it will be violation of Foreign Exchange Management Act. And many of my clients are making this particular mistake, so I always address this point that if you are having any of your current account or saving bank account in India, it is your obligation and you have to convert it into NRO bank account or NRI, and always prefer to update visa status with all your bank accounts upon your arrival. Next one will be of your demat account. Suppose if you were resident in India and then after you left India and now your present status is of non-resident Indian, then it is your responsibility to intimate your demat account holders that now this particular account have been converted into NRO demat account, either PIS or non-PIS as per your requirement. And for this particular thing, what is PIS account, that is portfolio investment scheme, and demat account, and what will be the non-NRO demat account with non-PIS option. We are going to give you a full-fledged video in upcoming series, so stay connected with if you want to understand more deeply that what will be the beneficial demat account for you. For example, if you are willing to invest only in bonds or mutual funds, even non-PIS account will be beneficial, and if you are going to invest any amount through non-PIS account, then banker will not required and liable to intimate these particular transactions to the RBI. So according to your need, you have to understand and you have to give advice. Mostly banker get recurring charges in terms of renewal of demat account. So they will insist for the PIS account, NRO PIS or NRI PIS account. But I personally recommend you to go for the NRO non PIS account. The only limitation of non PIS demat account is you cannot repatriate your money without permission. Otherwise, it is quite cost effective according to your usage if you are just willing to invest in mutual fund bonds and some other securities like IPOs. And after doing this thing, even don't forget to update your NRO bank account which have been already updated by you with your demat account after conversion by saying it to your broker. The next third topic, what you have to keep in mind is to have your PAN card. Permanent account number in India is very much important nowadays to make your life easy and hassle free. Yes, of course, in India, you can say by giving a declaration in Form 60 that you don't have PAN card and even you can open your bank account. But to have it will help you to save a lot of your, to get refund of your deducted TDS amount, and even it will help you to give it as a ID proof at any places. There are many centers available in India where you can apply PAN card and even online you can apply it and within 15 days you can get it. But wherever you apply, don't forget to get e-PAN because you can keep it in your email, and if you lose your PAN card physically, you can access your e-card so that it will be handy use for you. And to apply PAN card in few cases, even as a NRI, Aadhaar card is mandatory. For example, if you are holding Indian passport, Indian citizenship, and you are living abroad on PR, then to apply for the PAN card in India, you must require Aadhaar card. So you have to first apply for the Aadhaar card and then after you can go for the PAN card. And in case if you are coming to India and holding citizenship of any foreign country, and if you are coming on OCI card basis, then in such cases you don't require to give Aadhaar as a mandatory proof to get your PAN card. So kindly note this thing before applying for the PAN card. And in case if you are already having your PAN card and if there is any data entry mistake or typo error, then kindly ensure to get it correct upon your arrival to back to India. Generally, I have observed that in most of the time, date of birth mismatch can happen because in older time, I mean 7 to 8 years back, mostly people used to give their any of the birth certificate or any other things, and this kind of technical error I have observed. So it's almost necessary now to match every documents, name, surname, middle name, date of birth, everything. So this thing you have to keep in mind upon your next arrival. And if you are having a multiple PAN, because even in India I have seen that so many of the people are having a multiple PAN. So according to law, it's a crime to have multiple PAN. You must have to surrender and cancel it upon your next arrival. So don't forget to do this thing. If you will talk to your consultant, they will help you to do this thing. And apart from this, if your status is not updated on e-filing portal as an NRI, then you must have to update this particular status on e-filing portal, because in India now PAN and other link up is necessary. And as an NRI, if you are getting privilege of exemption of non linking this particular thing, so you have to update this status on e-filing portal. Otherwise, you may have to pay 5,000 rupees as a penalty after March 2023. Moving towards the next thing is Aadhaar card. Although it is not necessary for NRIs to obtain and have Aadhaar card in India, but it is always recommendatory to make your life easy, hassle-free, and happier, because in India, to make any financial transactions or some sort of other transactions, Aadhaar OTP is now next to oxygen. So it is utmost necessary to have Aadhaar card in India, and it will help you to make any transactions hassle free. And even as an ID proof, many of the places where you are going to visit any fort or somewhere, they will ask for the Aadhaar card. If you will give them Aadhaar card, they will not charge any NRI visiting fee from you. Otherwise, if you will give PAN card, they will consider you as a NRI, and many of my clients have paid even 10x or 20x visiting charges. For example, in Rajasthan, if you will travel and if you will visit to any fort, they have to pay, or you have to pay as a NRI 5,000 rupees or 1,500 rupees as a visiting charge. If you have Aadhaar card, if you can speak vernacular language, if you will give only 100 rupees or 200 rupees normal resident Indian visiting charge, you can enter. So it's always beneficial and advisable, recommendatory to have Aadhaar card in India. And kindly note that name correction in India in Aadhaar card is only once allowed in a lifetime. However, in address, in date of birth, in contact number, email address, you can change n number of times, whatever you prefer to do. But at the time of name correction, you have to make sure that it will be lifetime change, and you have to keep it for the lifetime. So kindly note this thing. And apart from this, even you have to keep your mobile number active, visit your telecom company and say them that I want to get plan of 1 year or 2 year, so that you don't require to pay and do recharge quite often. Prefer to buy plans of 1 year or 2 years, and it will help you to make your Indian number active. And also at the time of obtaining Aadhaar card, you have to provide your Indian number only, because foreign number connection is not allowed. Moving towards most important thing is visiting office of your chartered accountant or consultant, because probably I have personally observed that there are so many NRIs who are having a dilemma and misconception that I am not a resident Indian, I don't have much incomes in India, so I don't require to file any tax returns or tax consultancy, so I don't require to meet my chartered accountant. This is the most common mistakes NRI used to do. So I always recommend them that upon your arrival or before your arrival, take appointment of your chartered accountant, discuss all the problems related to investment, regarding insurances, regarding your taxes, and regarding any of the financial tax affairs, what you have done even in your host country, that is the country where you are presently living and where you are having your financial assets or immovable properties like in India. It is utmost important and necessary to discuss all the problems with your chartered accountant, with your consultant, and as a result, you may save yourself by not violating your income tax related provisions, FEMA related provisions, and as a result, even you can get benefit of lakhs of rupees of deducted taxes as a withholding taxes you might have paid as a part of your normal prudence transactions while you were traveled and while you were staying in India. So it's always better to visit, take appointment, and visit your chartered accountant's office and ask whether there is any tax return due, is there any amount of tax liability you have to pay, or is there any possibility of tax refund you have to get. So all these things you can discuss with them, and even utmost necessary that many of the NRIs used to keep their money in saving bank accounts. So why are you wasting your money by keeping in saving bank account? They are fetching only 4% interest over here in India, and there are so many better alternatives are available. Suppose even if you are a retail HNI client, then you can invest in NCD, non-convertible debentures bonds, which is state government secured options, and you can fetch around 9.9, 9.95% return. So why are you wasting your money by keeping only in saving bank account? And that is also available at without login. So always better to discuss with your chartered accountant according to the need and according to the utilization. So it will help you to save a lot of money. Not only you have to pay, but they will give you 10x return. Apart from this, if you are living in the foreign country, those country you might be having a double taxation avoidance agreement with India. So as a result, you can save yourself by not paying double taxes in both those countries. Like for example, if you have sold any property in India, and if as a result, if you have not planned your taxes very well, and you might have paid your amount of taxes in India, and the same transaction obligation will be required to show in your host country, in your foreign country. So it's always better to take leverages of double taxation avoidance agreement just to not pay taxes in both those countries. So always better to consult and discuss any of the financial transactions with your chartered account. Property related issue is the next point what you have to keep in mind while you travel to India. For example, if any municipal taxes related taxes is outstanding to pay, then you have to pay association related fees or maintenance expenses if you have to. If your amount is outstanding, then you have to pay. Apart from this, if you are going to sell any of the property in India, then you must have to keep in mind that resident buyer will definitely deduct heavy TDS withholding tax, that is in the range of 20 to 30 percentage. But this is not your final taxes. Kindly ensure this thing. Many of the NRIs land up like, do we have to pay 30% taxes? But my friend, this is not your final taxes. This is just a transaction tax, a kind of withholding advance tax. What a resident buyer is obliged to deduct from your amount, and they will deposit this particular amount against your PAN card in the treasury of government. And after filing your tax return, you can take refund of the amount which you are entitled to get after deducting all those taxes what you are obliged to pay on those particular property transactions. And even don't forget to claim benefits of indexation, cost of acquisition, and so other things. So it is almost necessary to discuss all these things before you incur any transactions. And in India, even the rent cost is now increased. So don't forget to rediscuss rent amount when you travel back to India, because you might have given any property to any of the tenant 5 years back, but right now the rents are very attractive, so don't forget to rediscuss the rent. Now the last point is regarding loan accounts. For example, if you were enjoying any loan facility in India and if you have fully repaid it, then don't forget to collect your NOC, that is no objection certificate, no due certificate from your banker. And if it was a collateral loan, then you must have to recollect your commercial or residential property documents in an original and intact full manner from the banker. So always better to take it back and keep it in your record and take NOC from the bankers. In last cherry on the topping is, don't forget to meet your parents, to relatives, to visit beautiful places, because India is a very beautiful city with good heritage and food culture. If watching on YouTube, if you are foodie like me, then you must have to enjoy all those dishes, which is really lips smackening. And you might have watched on many of the YouTube channels like Guju Box, Kamlesh Modi, and so many other foodies. So you must have to enjoy all these things, visit ice cream parlor, and the life of Indians are very peaceful and joyful, that you must have to visit. Dear NRI viewers, I hope this video might be helpful to you to understand that what are the key points you have to take care before you travel and plan your schedules for the India. And if you like it really interesting and helpful, then please share it with your friends and family members who are planning to travel in India. And still, if you have any query in regard to the Indian taxes, FEMA advisory, or some other things regarding India, feel free to write inquiry form in the below given comment box. And please don't forget to share, subscribe, and like. Thank you so much for watching this video.